what's up, guys? How's it going? So, yeah, obviously KVK. I mean, it was a pretty fun KVK. Now, obviously, I don't know, we were doing forts. I think for the first 14 hours, we were spending holding forts. So we held base, and then eventually we decided, well, all right, let's go to 118. Let's go get some forts, right? So, again, this is one mistake guilds seem to make during KVK. You put like a fort and you put no leader in it and expect nobody to hit it, and it has pricey consequences when you don't leave a leader in there. And again, I mean, some of these guys were porting in, reinforcing a fort when the guy didn't even have a leader in there. Okay, and I don't know if the strategy was that it really does. It won't hurt anybody, and it won't hurt. I mean, that's just reality. Like, if you don't put a leader in there, it doesn't help you. But obviously that was KVK, right? I mean, we had a lot of fun, and that's really where it's at. I mean, having a lot of fun doing KVK is just kind of the whole point. But obviously, when people make these mistakes, it's just, I don't know. I really don't even know what to say, because obviously once we took Skyfort, they literally didn't even fight back for it. Like, once we took Skyfort from them, they just were, yeah, okay, that's all right. We'll call it good. But obviously, if you want to see what they actually lost, right? Again, mind you, all right, this could have all been prevented, all right? We didn't lose really anything, but, I mean, as you can see, I mean, they didn't, I mean, obviously, it just, I don't know, like, it was a lot of Tier 3 that they wasted for little to no, like, there's no reason for it. But obviously, we went over to Frozen Port, so we bounced over from Skyport to Frozen Port. We were just like, oh, all right, so let's go ahead and let's take a shot at it, right? Obviously, that had its consequences, because, this, of course, had a leader. All right, so, we'll go ahead and take a look, see what it has, right? And just kind of get a feel for what we got in here. So, it's got a leader, but its composition is, and, again, this is a problem with any fort holds, is that if you try to go too mixed, the problem you're going to often run into is that somebody like myself knows that if I go into 2 unit types, I can crush what you got in there. Now, of course, I made the decision to stay infantry because of the sheer amount of range that they left in there, which wasn't really such a smart move on their end. I mean, if they were to play it right, you should probably maximize 2 unit stats, not 1. And, again, they didn't make that decision. So it was very easy for us to just kind of pick out, well, okay, well, based on that gear and based on this stuff, we know that if we send this attack, they're not going to win it. Obviously, initially, I wanted to rally the fort, but Damn Too Good, who's our billion might player, who currently is like 1.1 billion, but he's aiming for 1.3 billion might, went ahead, he had general title, and I was just like, oh, okay, sure. So we went ahead and let him start the rally. And, again, we were looking at Comet Fort, too, because, I mean, it really wasn't much different. When we march on this place, we can march straight for Comet, and it won't be anything, it's the same exact thing. Obviously, no, I was telling, Dan, again, what to do in terms of, like, just to give us one little bit of an edge, just in case they try to psych us out. Because again, you want to make sure that you've got the counter formation if you can get it, because that's ultimately going to help you out win the rally. So if you started in Cav, they're going to think, okay, I'm going to go range. And if you switch Inf Wedge at the last second, you're going to get that Inf bonus on the range as soon as they land, and that should help a considerable amount when you're actually hitting the rally. But, and again, I don't know, sometimes you can take them out, and other times you can't. I mean, that's just the way it is. And obviously, for me, when it comes to rallying targets and such like that, especially with forts, you never really know what you're getting yourself into. And obviously, I kept myself on speed gear because, again, when you're reinforcing your buddies, you really don't want to wait any longer than you don't have to. Now, again, he was wondering, do you pop a 50% attack boost? And the answer is, yeah, sure, if you want to do more damage. Like, it really isn't going to help. I mean, he's going to win this no matter what happens, okay? Because of the comp that he's got sending at him, he's not going to win it. Just because of the sheer amount of Tier 4 that we had in the actual comp, there just isn't an opportunity to really, like, you're not going to get through that. I mean, if I send 700,000 Tier 4 into 2 unit types, and you've got your forces split between 3 to 4 to 5, like he did, and then you've got like a little couple 100,000 more into one spot, you're not going to win because I can ultimately crush the front line that you have, and then because my front line is in counter to what you've got most of, it's still going to crush what you got left. And so, again, here comes the rally, and again, I don't know, it's, I mean, the beauty of being able to go after these targets, man, is just. I mean, sometimes these guys just looked at us like, yeah, well, we can eat this. This is no problem. I don't know if they were just going AFK, and that's my guess, is that they probably went AFK on the fort, which is not something I recommend doing during KVK, mind you. But I guess these guys got in the habit of doing that. Now, of course, we kept checking for what he had in the fort because we didn't know if they were switching comps. But, obviously they didn't do that, so... we went ahead and took another hit, and yeah, I mean, as you can tell, it was 281,000 dead. And, as you can tell just by looking at the might, it really wasn't that costly at all. Like, we could just keep going. And again, some of this could, could be avoided. The amount of losses is obviously pretty bad on both sides, but you can see that, like, look at all those drakes, man. I mean, that's 90,000 drakes, and I'm just counting right off the top. But, I mean... the losses in that is just enormous, and they do that all for the sake of holding the fort, But again, the amount of points you're getting is, pretty good too. And of course, we went ahead and went after Bright. This is when they started to wake up, because I think DE1 caught on that all of a sudden it was like very clear that W-M could not hold the fort. So DE1 was like, oh man, we need to come in for the save. So they went ahead and they put a rally on Rue, and Rue was like, "Oh, I'm just going to rally this anyway." So, of course, we went ahead and hit Bright for it. And as you can tell, there's another 347,000. That's another 24 mil light drop, and that's again, I mean, it could easily have been avoided if they had been online, but they chose not to. Obviously, I was running pretty low on gems at this point, but I mean, you can look at all that, man. I mean, it's just crazy amounts of dead coming out of both tier 4s and tier 3s and such. I mean, it's just an absolutely enormous amount. Now, obviously, Rue, or, Rujin, I guess is his full name. Again, he obviously ended up getting rallied, and I can't show you the report, but it wasn't good. It was like 200,000 dead, I think, tier 4 range on his end. It was not good. But all right, so what's up, guys? Yeah, so that was kind of like what KVK was like. Now, I personally, it's, I don't know, in case you're wondering, like, who in fact actually came out on top, right? We didn't win, but dang, we were close, alright? I mean, it was a pretty interesting KVK between 136, 118, and 113. That was maybe the first KVK where really nobody fought for their own forts. Like, there was not really a lot of competition in 129 for forts. I really didn't feel like I had to worry about any one of those kingdoms coming out to actually take our forts. So it made it really easy for us to come out and actually go do some, fort taking. So, although we didn't win, we came in at second place for our guild war, which I thought was pretty cool. So, with guilds like DE1, mind you, which are 20 billion might guilds, a 12 billion, almost 11 build, a 12 billion might guild was able to put up a hell of a fight. But this 9 build guild did a fairly decent job for KVK, so I gotta give them a hand. That was a pretty impressive feat on their end. But, of course, for solo war, obviously, a lot of these guilds up here came up pretty high on that totem pole. Sinner Mary, shout out to Sinner Mary, obviously came out at almost at 100 million points, which is insane. Obviously, you can see Zoo was pretty predominant in the point board, and obviously Damn Too Good wasn't too far behind, but it was nuts. I mean, it was really just crazy to see how much participation was coming on from all the other guilds and such. And again, 129 came out on the bottom, and the only reason I can think of is that really, I mean, we were like, while these three guilds were fighting each other like well, not guilds, but kingdoms were fighting each other like ever so constantly. We were just completely left out of it, which was really weird for us. We were like, what's going on, man? So we had to actually go out and fight and to go get those points, which was really strange for us. But, again, I only came in at 6th. But, I don't know, I mean, that was a really fun KVK, and obviously, On the world ranking, guys, obviously 212 came up on top. And again, here you can actually see which guilds came out on top of the world. So it looks like 6-6 from AMG came out pretty high on 222. But, I mean, again, it's just something to look at, something to consider with the top 40 or so. Of course, for Solo War, it looks like Cupid Chips came out on top from 189. And again, you got all these major players. I mean, it's, again, KVK is an enormously, it's just crazy to imagine how many points you could, I mean, for me, looking at that, I'm just like, oh, how did you manage that? Like, 460 mil, oh my word, like, what did you do? But, obviously, 136, which is the Abolius Kingdom. Well, I mean, obviously, it was just, I don't know, it was really a lot of fun. But, needless to say, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.